Okay, in this video, I'm going to just briefly walk through the steps of setting a data frame coordinate system and its projection. Remember that when we were doing data frames as opposed to data proper, we are simply altering how data appears in a map or in a visualization. We're not, in fact, altering the projection properties or coordinate system of the data itself. And so in this case, you'll notice that I simply have three data frames and there's no data in them. So I'm going to take the first one, and again, to set a coordinate system and projection, I'm going to right mouse click on the data frame, go to its properties, and I will select the coordinate system tab. Now the first one you'll notice I set as WGS 84 geographic. And in this case, what I really want to do is make the first data frame in a sense, unprojected, okay, or geographic system. And again, I'm going to use the WGS 84. Again, to show you where I went, remember we selected the coordinate system tab, and then within that tab there are really two coordinate systems available to you. The geographic coordinate systems, which we see here, which are continental, and then they are hemispherical, and then world. Now we will also choose in the next one some of the projected coordinate systems. Once you have used systems frequently enough, you can also make them one of your favorites. So again, I've chosen this one, and I'm going to hit apply, and OK. Now I'm going to add a data set to this so that you see what happens. I'm going to add data now, and what I'm adding in this case is a set of data that will allow us to kind of see what's going on. So this is what we call the Tussauds indicatrixes, or ellipses. And I'm going to add that, and I'm going to add a 30-degree grid. Okay, so again, if I select both of these, one there, and we'll hold down the Shift key and grab another one, we'll be able to add that group of data. So there are two feature classes. I'm going to change their order here so you can see the ellipses. And what we'll do, this one up at the top, and what you'll notice is, again, the ellipses are all, at least in terms of the data, the same size. But what you'll notice here is there's distortion in the northern and southern hemisphere as we move away from the equator. I'm also going to add countries so that you can kind of see a little bit better something you're familiar with. And so there you go. We now see a standard, and again, this is a geographic coordinate system, but it is very apparent that in fact something is being projected. In other words, we're not seeing a globe, we're seeing a flat Cartesian surface. I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to change the projection in a different data frame. So here's our second data frame. You'll notice that I've named this one transverse Mercator projected. So that's what I'm going to set it to. So again, I right mouse click, select properties, and in this case we're going to choose a projected, and in this case again this is a world projection, and I'm going to choose the standard, in this case Mercator projection. I shouldn't really call that a transverse Mercator because I'm not going to use a transverse Mercator. I'm going to hit apply and OK, and then what I'm going to do is activate this data frame. And again, I'm going to drag my data sets down into that data frame. Now, what you'll notice is that the data is the same data. These three data sets haven't been altered at all, but what you can see is that clearly the visualization is different. This is a Mercator projection. Now, in the last one, I'm going to do a similar thing. In this case, we're going to use an azimuthal projection. Again, right-click, select our projected options, and again, an azimuthal projection. I'm interested in a world azimuthal, and here it is, a equidistant world projection. I'm going to hit apply and OK, and once again I'm going to select my data sets and bring them into the data frame, and now I'm going to activate that data frame. And we will see a very, very different projection here. Again, this is an azimuthal equidistant projection. And so what we notice is that the data has remained the same, but I've altered the data frame's coordinate system in order to visualize that data in a different way. The other thing that you'll notice is that as I move through these, even though it is an azimuthally equidistant, you'll notice my coordinate systems are decimal degrees. The same thing in my transverse Mercator, or in fact my regular Mercator. The visual data, again, I haven't changed the data at all, but you'll notice that my coordinate system has changed to a meters coordinate system, a world Mercator in meters. And if I go back to my last one, activate my geographic, it goes back to a decimal degree configuration. So again, that's it for setting projection properties, coordinate systems for data frames. When I come back, we'll talk about actually altering the coordinate system of data itself.